All right, we're back. We're going to put on the record. We're back on the live feed. And this is People versus Lindsay Rive Willis. That's you?
Yes.
Here with your lawyer, Mr. Matthew Davidson. The file number is 252564. FY. Mr. Gary Gabriel is here on behalf of the prosecuting attorney's office. We took a plea a little while ago under a deferral with a common co-defendant. And Mr. Gabriel, is the offer here the same as it was in that case?
It is, Your Honor. In this case, there's actually, the original information has 2 counts, but the offer is the same, that she would enter a plea to the amended charge of attempted R&O. Today, we'd set sentencing out for 6 months, during which period of time she will continue to cooperate with the prosecution of the other 3 individuals that were involved in physical altercation at the Harvey house. With that cooperation, I will end up dismissing the case in its totality.
Your Honor, that sounds right, but dismissal of all the pending charges if she's going to plea to something here, I didn't hear that stated.
Yeah.
But the idea was it would be dismissing all these charges and then she would...
A deferred plea agreement, they first enter a plea. So here's what the offer was. So Ms. Willis, I wish you'd been in here, but that wasn't your fault. You guys were out discussing this while I was taking the other plea. Let's start from the beginning of your case. I also went through the advice of rights, which you didn't hear. I don't have a written
She'd
one.
signed it. Yeah, she has a written advice of rights. It's in the file, Your Honor. We don't need to go back there.
All right, I don't have it, but I'll trust you on that. All right, Ms. Willis, you're charged with 2 counts of interfering with tampering. Well, you're charged with tampering with evidence and aggravated domestic violence. Let me find your
I
case.
believe it was a conspiracy, if I'm not mistaken. The
Well,
charge is conspiracy.
here it is.
Bar fights are always messy, Your Honor, so.
Yes, all right. The complaint alleges that on or about November 10th. Oh, that's Mr. Moss. Get the right guy.
I have that one.
No, you don't have that one and you don't want it. Willis. This happened in May. It's alleged that on May 3rd, you were in the village of Constantine at the Harvey house. Tampering with evidence is the first count. That's a felony. It's punishable by up to 4 years of imprisonment and a fine of up to $5,000. The second count is conspiracy to commit domestic violence aggravated. So alleged you did conspire, confederate, and agree with Justin Clark, Jacob Clark, and David Jones to assault Leonardo Duran Hernandez, a former resident of your household. So that's a misdemeanor, punishable by up to a year in jail and a fine of up to $1,000.
She pleads not guilty on all those charges, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Gabriel would offer a plea offer that she plead to attempting to resist or obstruct a police officer.
It's a 1-year misdemeanor.
That is a 1-year misdemeanor, punishable up to a year in jail and a fine of up to $1,000. We would defer the sentence in this matter to the 27th of July. I believe we set that for 10:30. It's a condition of the deferral agreement that you cooperate and provide truthful testimony in the case of any co-defendants in the circuit court case.
All right, folks, buckle up because this case is already heating up. We've got Lindsay Rice facing serious felony and domestic violence allegations, and the courtroom is buzzing over a deferred plea agreement that could dismiss all pending charges, but only if she cooperates with the prosecution. Who are the co-defendants and what really went down at the Harvey house? Stick around because every twist here could change the fate of this case entirely. You won't believe what evidence is involved and how the judge is navigating these high-stakes negotiations.
And if you do that, the domestic violence charge is dismissed and the felony charge of tampering with evidence is dismissed. I learned earlier from one of the co-defendants, and I've dealt with this case in some other cases, Mr. Duran's original case, I don't remember, but I've seen the video of what happened there on the bar. His testimony, the co-defendant, was that there was a struggle between two factions in the bar. A gun was dropped. He picked the gun up, took it away from the crime scene, and gave it to you. And then you did something with it. I don't know yet. That's what his testimony was. So that would be attempting to resist or obstruct a police officer. And Mr. Gabriel was satisfied with that factual basis, and so was counsel in that matter. So, Ms. Willis, are you willing to plead on a deferred plea agreement to the misdemeanor offense of attempting to resist or obstruct a police officer?
Just one second. My understanding was the felonies are going to be dismissed now. If she's going to plead guilty to something, I don't want to have these other pending felonies hanging out here.
Yes.
So they'll be dismissed now.
She would be correct. The felonies would be dismissed for a plea to the misdemeanor charge.
Thank you.
And then if she complies with the terms of the plea agreement, even the misdemeanor charge would be
I get
dismissed.
it. That's what I understood.
All right. And I understand. You want to make sure she understands. Do you understand that, Ms. Willis? All right. Are you going to plead guilty to attempting to resist or obstruct a police officer?
Yes.
Anybody threaten you to get you to do that? Or
Yes,
promise
speak
you
up.
anything? Or promise you anything?
No.
All right. Apparently there's a written advice of rights floating around here somewhere, but you understand that you'll be giving up your right to have a trial in front of a judge or jury if you plead to this charge. Do you understand?
Yes. Yeah, just.
And just before she answers to her plea, the issue for me, or the issue as it was presented to me, is the condition that she testify if necessary against any of the, or anything arising out of the fight at the Harvey house, whatever, however we want to look at that. And the only reason that I want to make that clear is I never like cooperation because it's too vague.
Well, provide truthful testimony.
Yes, that's what I understand the condition is.
All right.
She'll agree to do that.
And I think that's what I said in the other case and said earlier, but that is the essence of it. Provide truthful testimony about what happened that day in that incident on May 3rd. You understand?
Yeah.
All right. So let's get our facts. There was a disagreement between two factions of people at the Harvey House bar. A bunch of people were mad at Leonardo Duran Hernandez. And there was a scuffle in there and a gun was discharged. Did you somehow become in possession of that gun?
Yes.
Where did you get it?
From James
James.
Clark.
All right. And he said he took it outside and handed it to you.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you remember?
Yes.
All right. What did you do with it? Well, let me stop for a minute. If you're part of the plea agreement is you're going to give truthful testimony, you might as well start now. So Mr. Clark gave you the gun. What did you do with it?
Just tell the judge what happened. Go ahead. Just tell him.
I took it and went home and put it in a pillowcase and set it on a chair next to my door.
All right. So you took the piece of evidence from that scene and took it away from there and took it to your home.
Mm-hmm.
Is that yes?
Yes. Yeah.
Mr. Gabriel, you satisfied with that?
I am, Your Honor.
All right. There are 3 other defendants.
Yes, Your Honor. There's 2 other clerks, and I just had it up with my, and Mr. Stone, I believe.
Jones.
July 27th, 2026.
And actually, they're charged with misdemeanor, 1-year misdemeanor, so it'll be handled in district court.
All right, so they're not felony cases, they're
They're not going
misdemeanor
upstairs.
cases. Okay. All right, then that'll be handled sooner rather than later. All right, so you told me what you told me, which is sufficient for me to find attempting to resist or obstruct a police officer. I've set the matter for sentencing for July 27th at 10:30 a.m. Under this deferred plea agreement, I'm going to do again an order delaying the sentence to that date. Now, Miss Willis, there are conditions of your bond. You haven't been sentenced yet, so your bond is still in effect. 7/27/26. So you continue to comply with all the terms of your bond. Stay in contact with your lawyer, and the prosecutor will be serving a subpoena on you unless the case is resolved otherwise. All right, you're good to go.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Aaron.
Thanks, Matt.
Thank you.
Well, you are the chief assistant commissioner, supposed to go first, and you're supposed to wait for you. You're throwing your weight around, Mr. O'Hare.
How come he doesn't get epaulets?
He's the calmest person. One more.
All right. Mr. O'Bear, thanks for your patience. We got more to do here. Let's take care of the people who are not going to plead, and then we'll get to our pleas. Daniel Robert Ashbrook. File number is 252585FY. Good morning, Mr. Ashbrook. You're charged with possession of methamphetamine. It's alleged that last October 20th that you did possess methamphetamine. It is a misdemeanor. It's punishable by up to 15 years in prison. You find the case, see if it's supplemented. $10 years in prison, excuse me, as a second offense, which makes it 20 years maximum as a fourth offense. Theoretically, make this punishable by up to life imprisonment. You're here with your lawyer, Mr. Paul Gibson. My understanding at this point is you wish to have a preliminary examination in this matter.
Yes, sir.
Is there a plea offer, Mr. Gibson?
Yes. I have conveyed to the defendant that the prosecuting attorney did provide a plea offer. I don't know if Mr. Robert wants to put that on the record, or do you want me to put it on the record? To plead to possession of meth as a drug double, and I guess the fourth habitual offender notice would be dismissed.
You agree with that, Mr. Robert?
Yes, that was the offer. If the preliminary examination is held, that offer would be revoked and there'd be no further negotiations on this case in the circuit court.
You understand that, Mr. Ashbrook?
Yes, sir.
Here's where things get really interesting. By pleading to this misdemeanor, Lindsay is effectively avoiding felony convictions. But there's a catch. She must testify truthfully against the other 3 individuals involved. This is a classic example of deferred prosecution in action, where cooperation can dramatically change outcomes. Now, think about it. Would you take a plea knowing your testimony could put others behind bars? The stakes are both legal and deeply personal, and the tension in this courtroom is palpable.
All right. All right, we're going to set this for a preliminary examination next Tuesday. We're going to be busy that day, February 3rd at 1 o'clock. As you heard me say, Mr. Ashbrook, you don't get found guilty or not guilty at a preliminary examination, but it will be prosecutor's opportunity to attempt to prove beyond a preponderance that crime was committed, the crime that you did it. If you have a prelim, plea negotiations are suspended and the prosecutor would hold the line at a drug double as a 4th offender. So you can continue to discuss that with your lawyer. One thing that I would always recommend they do is run the guidelines, see what the difference in the sentencing guidelines are between the plea offer and without the plea offer. And that may help you further decide what you wish to do. But if you wish to have a preliminary examination, we'll do it next Tuesday at 1 o'clock. All right, your bond is continued. All the conditions remain in effect. All right, good luck, sir. Alan Reinicle. Please come forward.
Yes. It's,
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
I'm not sure how I did on your name. How do you pronounce it?
Well, you got close enough. Ryan Hackle.
All right, very good. You're Alan Gordon Reinhackle.
Yes.
Mr. Reinhackle, you're charged with criminal sexual conduct, 3rd degree. It is alleged that on February 15th of 2025, you did engage in sexual penetration of Gabrielle Gooden and using force or coercion. That is a felony, as I said, punishable up to 15 years imprisonment. And it's a non-probational offense. You have to go to prison for that charge if you are convicted of that. At this point, Mr. Gibson, again, you're asking for a preliminary examination.
yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Aubert, is there a plea offer?
Not that I'm aware of.
All right, well, that's probably why we're having a prelim. All right, this is an incident that allegedly occurred at a Healing Hands massage in Sturgis. Prelim set for February 3rd, 2026 at 1 o'clock. I'm not sure it'll go exactly at 1 o'clock because we've got a lot going on. Mr. Reinicle, you posted a substantial bond. You've appeared. Your bond remains in effect. You're not to have any contact with a complaining witness in this case. You stay in contact with your lawyer, and I will see you next Tuesday at 1:00. All right. You're good to go. Thank you, sir. Craig Rudisill?
He's gonna be a plea, or are we doing the,
All right, well, let's do Mr. Patterson then. You're right, that was just listed as a plea. I'm sorry, Mr. George, I would have done this one. I thought everything else was Paul's. Oh, you got fault though.
Yes, sir.
We'll do that one next.
He's a plea.
Yes. Good morning, Mr. Patterson.
Good morning, Your Honor. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I haven't seen you in a while, which is probably good. I didn't know if you moved away or you're still around here or what you've had going on,
I'm
but
trying to keep myself up under wraps and away from trouble.
sounds good, although this doesn't sound too good. You got charged here with assault with intent to commit great bodily harm and domestic assault, similar to the basketball player guy we had earlier. It's alleged that on or about January 5th, that you assaulted Sarah Evelyn Bingaman by strangulation, which is a variety of assault with intent to commit great bodily harm. It's punishable by up to 10 years imprisonment and a fine of up to $5,000. You're also charged as being a habitual offender, which is different than him, makes it punishable by up to life imprisonment. You're also charged with a first offense domestic assault. Well, it seems to me you had a domestic assault in the past. You ever previously been convicted of domestic assault?
I'm not quite for sure.
I thought there were some old ones, but anyway, it's only charged as a first offense. If my understanding is correct, he wishes to have a preliminary examination in this matter.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Mr. O'Bear, is there a plea offer?
Yes, an offer was made of domestic violence first offense. The other count would be dismissed and habitual offender. The preliminary examination is held, that offer would be revoked and there would be no further negotiations in circuit court.
All right. The prosecution has agreed to dismiss the life offense felony for a plea to a first offense domestic violence misdemeanor. You can ponder that question between now and next Tuesday at 1:00. But if you have a preliminary examination, they're going to withdraw that plea offer. And the matter, if there's enough evidence, will be bound over to circuit court. Mr. Patterson, are you still at Buckhorn Road?
Yes, sir.
And you're not to have any contact with Ms. Bingaman, do you understand?
Yes, sir.
All right, this is set for prelim on February 3rd, 2026 at 1:00. We're going to have to stay in contact with each other. There's so many cases set for prelim. We're going to have to figure out what exactly is going and set up a sequence. The CSC cases would take priority, but these are all victim cases. All right, Mr. Patterson, it looks to me like a very generous plea offer, but I don't know anything about what happened. You can stay in contact with your lawyer. You're scheduled to be here next Tuesday at 1:00.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Michael Moore. Good morning, Mr. Moore.
How's it going?
All right, about as well as can be expected.
So you're doing better than Paul over there. He looks like he wants to hurt somebody.
Yes. All right, you're charged with delivery of methamphetamine and some other related offenses, so let's put your case up here. In this matter, it's alleged that on December 30th in the city of Three Rivers that you did possess methamphetamine with the intent to deliver it. That's a felony punishable by up to 20 years imprisonment and a fine of up to $25,000. You're charged with a drug double, which makes it a 40-year maximum. You're also charged with possession of methamphetamine as a drug double. You're also charged as a fourth habitual offender, which makes it punishable by up to life in prison. You're also charged with possession of ammunition by a prohibited person, and that's a felony punishable by up to 5 years in prison and a fine of up to $5,000, also as a fourth habitual offender. What I was advised is that you wish to hire an attorney to represent you in this matter. Mr. Gary Gabriel is also here on behalf of the prosecuting attorney. Mr. Gibson, what's the status here?
The defendant indicated to me that he was in the process of retaining private counsel, or he's attempting to hire private counsel, but he has I guess, an idea of who he wants to hire. And so I guess he's asking for a 2-week adjournment of the pre-exam conference to give him an opportunity to hopefully hire the attorneys he's trying to hire. But if not, then obviously I would be representing him.
Who do you intend to hire?
Levine.
All right. Ms. Montag was just here from that firm, Mr. Marcoux and Mr. Levine. So have you actually been in contact with them?
I talked to him. Said he wants a $5,000 retainer. Well, he wanted $10,000. He said if I give him 5, he'll work with me on the other 5.
Mr. Gabriel, what's your position here?
Your Honor, a couple of things, and they're novel, and I don't expect the court to necessarily agree with them, but I want to put it on the record. First of all, I ask that the court direct the public defender to remove Mr. Gibson from the case and to assign this case to Tim George. Tim George presently represents Mr. Moore on a case that's pending in circuit court, in which Mr. Moore is charged with possession with intent to deliver. We have a motion to join that case with the case of People versus Hope Lowry. I believe next week. That motion's been filed. I don't understand the system, and Judge Stutzman has recently conveyed to Mr. Stickley the need to consolidate as we go forward into limited court space, that these cases in which defendants have multiple cases and then have multiple defense attorneys are clogging our system. So I have no idea why Mr. Stickley would have, other than this weekly system that they have appointed Mr. Moore when he already has an open pending case. And actually, we were going to go to trial this month until we found Ms. Lowry.
Well, we saw the recent email from Judge Stutzman raising that issue. I try to catch it here at the district court level, and if they've got 2 different cases with 2 different lawyers, I'll try to. But you're right. The court no longer does the appointments. The Michigan Indian Defense Commission does the appointments. And so it's on a rotation, and some lawyers, they don't want the other case. At either juncture, I don't have a problem appointing Mr. George, but if he's going to retain Mr. Levine, and I don't know whether he's going to retain Mr. Levine on both cases or just this one. I'm taking it at his word that it sounds like he's actually talked to Levine and Levine. They do a lot of cases down here, as you know.
Now known as MML.
Yes, it's now known as Marku, Montag, and then that other guy, Mr. Levine. Anyway, Mr. George, what's your position regarding that?
It's pretty common. I know that, I think in dealing with the prosecutor's office, I haven't had the opportunity to speak to Mr. Moore about this specifically, but generally, any type of offer that's going to come is going to be a package offer that encompasses both. It always makes it difficult as counsel to advise based on an offer when you don't know the facts of the second case. So Mr. Gabriel had mentioned that to me when he came in this morning.
Well, it may be moot if he retains Mr. Marku or Miss Montag or whichever law firm.
It's Marku that I was talking to.
Who were?
Marku,
okay.
Yes. I was talking, my Aunt Jamie Solomon has him as an attorney. And she had gave me his phone number, and we were in conversation. She had gave me the phone, and he had talked to me about it.
All right. Well, all right. I'll release Mr. Gibson. Appoint Tim George. Set pre-exam for 2 weeks from today, which would be February. Again, we have that odd even business. February 10th. That becomes Judge Patterson's at 8:30 prelim for February 17th, 2026 at 1. Defendant intends to retain Attorney Marku. Was this a situation where this occurred while he was on an earlier bond?
Yes, Your Honor. I was going to ask the court if the court, when the bond was set, was aware of the fact that Mr. Moore is a parolee on release from prison to the Department of Corrections on parole status. This case grew out of his failure to notify his agent of the change in residence. So when they went to check on the residence, the drugs were found. He was on bond. He is on bond. I haven't filed a motion upstairs yet because I was just aware of this when I saw
this seems like it'd be ripe for him. Let me look at the bond was set in the amount of $15,000 cash or surety, which isn't inconsequential with community corrections. Let's see what the magistrate did. Judge Patterson did the original arraignment. I certainly believe they should have known it. There's a pretrial risk assessment in here. Lifetime long criminal history pending case in circuit court on parole. Tracy cooperated drug history set by magistrate tab wedge. $15,000 cash or surety, so she was aware of it. The fact that he got charged with a new felony while he's on an earlier bond, I guess could be a matter for circuit court. Maybe he posted the $15,000 cash or surety bond, and you're subject to perhaps a bond motion in circuit court.
Thank you, Minister.
So there's a little screwy. Mr. Gibson is removed as your attorney. He isn't alleged to have done anything wrong, but we've appointed Mr. George, who has your other case. So Mr. George now represents you in your pending circuit court case and this case, which is set for a pre-exam conference in 2 weeks. In the meantime, if you do hire Mr. Mark, he can file an appearance, and Mr. George would be released from whichever case he appears in. You're under pretrial supervision. Are you meeting with the community corrections agents?
Every Thursday.
All right, you need to keep doing that. It won't take much of a blink of an eye to put you back in custody. I don't know why your parole agent didn't pull the pin on this either, but at this point, you're on bond, you've made your court appearances, you're in compliance with community corrections, and it's set for 2 weeks from today, February 10th at 8:30. Thank you, Mr. George.
Does the court want a substitution for the file?
I don't know that we'll need one. We'll just do an order.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And the logistics of that, Mr. Drapery, I don't know if I'm ordering MIDC to appoint him.
Technically, in order to comply with the statute, basically, yeah, you're indicating to the Vigilante Defense Attorney, Chief Public Defender, that to expedite justice. We're just gonna run into some real issues going forward, Your Honor. I'm sure you guys are too.
Yes, like I said, I had more leeway when I was doing the appointments. And I would often, hey, oh, you're here, will you take this other case? Or just say appoint so-and-so.
Sure.
But it certainly does make life complicated for everybody, including the defendant, when that happens.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Gibson, let's keep plugging away here. We've got Travis Gentile. He's asking for an exam. And did we decide what we're doing of Brandy Green?
That one I think is not mine.
I will take a look. Travis Gentile is in custody. He's asking for a preliminary examination. Is that correct?
Yes, but we'd ask to adjourn. This is the case where he got arrested on these charges, bonded out, immediately had contact with the victim again,
Yes.
and has new felony charges. Those are set for PCC next week. So we would ask for this case to adjourn 1 week so they can be set on the same date. And then there's a prelim. We only have to bring in the victim once to testify on those two files.
That is file number 2692. I'm going to adjourn this PEC to same date. I think I canceled his bond in that new case. I did no bond, I believe. Adjourn PEC, same date as 2692FY, which would be PEC 2326 at 8:30. Preliminary examination if needed, 21026 at 1. That way victim would only be compelled to come once.
The other file number, did you say it was 2692 F?
2692FY.
And it's 25 or 26?
26.
Does it say who his attorney is for that case?
Yeah, here's another one that really just should have been the original lawyer. Attorney Harden. So also adjourn the probation. He's also on probation. All right, that leaves 3 cases. What do we know about Brandy Green?
Your Honor, she's yet to appear.
All right, let's make a record in that case. This is file number 252669FY, People versus Brandy Michelle Green. Brandy Green is charged in a complaint that alleges she did possess methamphetamine in the city of Three Rivers as a second offense, had open alcohol in a vehicle as a second habitual offender. Mr. Gibson was originally appointed to represent the defendant. Mr. Gibson, did you ever have any contact with this defendant?
Randy Green?
Yes.
I guess I don't think that I got my original notes from that, so I guess I don't know.
All right, but you don't have any recollection of any contact with her?
I don't recall having a date.
Mr. George, what do you know about it?
Your Honor, I tried to reach out at the phone number that was provided. It was an individual named Brandy, but she said that her name was not Brandy Michelle Green, so.
Does your number end in 5127?
Yes, sir.
Bond was set in the amount of 2,000 PR. A bench warrant. They're supposed to call their lawyer, and it doesn't look like she did. Bond, $5,000 cash or surety, 48-hour hold. Let's see what I can see about this. She had a warrant out of Kent County for hit and run. Hi, this is Judge Middleton calling. Brandy Michelle Green was in our jail. She had a hold from Kent County. Was she released to Kent County? Green, Brandy Green. Green. Brandy, Brandy. All right, over in Kent, but she wasn't released to Kent County. All right, thank you. Bye. Well, she wasn't released to another county. She just posted this bond. I'm surprised we set a PR bond when she had a case pending, but, all right, she is at large, and bond is $5,000 cash or surety. If anybody knows Brandy Michelle Green, she needs to get in here within the next 48 hours. There's an open warrant for her arrest. Thank you, Mr. George.
Thank you.
All right, we're plugging away. We're down to our last two cases. Joseph Fote. Mr. Fote. This is file number 201469FY. This is unusual. Mr. Fote, you've been here 6 or 8 times between 2000 and now.
That was Justin.
Oh, your brother, okay. All right.
I don't
You're
associate
Joseph.
with him.
All right. But there's another, is your father's name also Joseph?
Yes.
All right. Yeah, there's, all right, you're Joseph Nicholas Fote.
Yes, Nicholas.
All right, you're charged with possession of methamphetamine, which is a felony punishable by up to 10 years imprisonment. Fine of up to $15,000. Let's take a look at this. The complaint alleges that on April 20th of 2020, you did possess methamphetamine as a second or subsequent offense. Mr. Robert was here 6 years ago when he authorized that warrant. What's the current status here, Mr. Robert?
The offer is for him to plead to use of methamphetamine, and I believe he's going to enter that plea.
Do you agree with that, Mr. George?
The only thing I would change, Your Honor, is it is ecstasy in this case, not methamphetamine, but he is going to enter plea to use.
All right. Let's take a look at that again. Possession of meth ecstasy. I thought ecstasy was a 4-year. MDMA, according to this, is a 10-year on the same schedule as methamphetamine. All right. That either way, it's a misdemeanor, punishable by up to a year in jail and a fine of up to $1,000. You understand the charge? And you've signed a written waiver of your rights, and you acknowledge you're giving up the right to have a trial as a result of this plea.
Yes.
Anybody threaten you to get you to plead to this?
No, sir.
Or promise anything?
No, sir.
All right. There ain't much of an affidavit here. You got stopped for unlawful use of a license plate. Property seized and sent to the crime lab. Driver Lex Bressman. I was calling him Lex Nessman, but he didn't know what I was talking about. Lex Bressman issued citation driving without a license. The passenger, Joseph Fote, was found in possession of methamphetamine. I explained to him our type of report and request a warrant for his arrest. July 9th of 2020. You got picked up on this in January. How did this old warrant finally land on you?
Talk about timing. 6 years after the alleged crime, Joseph finds himself facing the consequences of a warrant he barely knew about. The law doesn't forget, and neither do the courts. What's shocking here is how minor past infractions can resurface and dramatically impact someone's life years later. And notice, he's working, trying to rebuild, yet the system is relentless. Who's really at fault here? The defendant, the system, or a mix of both? It's a real-life cautionary tale about staying on the right path and the long shadow of criminal history.
Because I literally just stay out of trouble. I'm a dad at most. I just try and keep myself away from the people who bring me down.
Well, so did you move away?
No, I've been in Three Rivers-ish. I moved to Sturgis a little while ago, but then I'm back here.
All right, so how did you get arrested on this warrant in 2000?
Me and my girlfriend had a domestic dispute, and the police were called. And then, yeah, they talked to me just briefly. I didn't even give them my name or anything. And then I went and got her so she could talk to them because I knew I had the warrant. But I've just been trying to get to where I'm stable, you know what I mean, and have.
All right, so where have you been staying? I show Lockport Drive, apartment 103.
Yeah.
Whose apartment is that?
My girlfriend's.
Are you on the lease?
Not yet.
You're gonna get kicked out if he's living there off book. I'm gonna need more information. This thing had. Now, you blame this on your girlfriend. Did you have a different girlfriend back then?
My baby mom, the mother of my kid. I didn't really blame it on her.
Joseph said out loud the capsules belonged to his girlfriend.
But I had them, but I'd taken them from her house. That was hers.
The property would be seized, requested. Pill finder invited 24 of the pills to be tramadol hydrochloride, 4 and 20 pills to be gabapentin, Schedule 5, and methylene dioxide methamphetamine, MDMA. So that's how that got charged. I'm gonna need more information. If I gave you a test right now, what would it show?
Just marijuana and alcohol. You're testing with alcohol too, but just marijuana, sir.
Well, that's lawful for adults. Mr. O'Bear, you got any thoughts on this?
I was just gonna ask for, given the age of the case.
Just get time served?
Yeah.
All right, I can live with that. A bunch of pills that are prescription that weren't charged, and one MDMA pill, like that, the crime of the century, 6 years later. Mr. George, you got any input?
No, I would just add, Your Honor, that my client does have a good job. He's been there for 2 years. It's at a factory in Three Rivers, so I know that he's working. He's trying to do the best he possibly can. And at some point, that this was going to have to be addressed, and I think fines and costs appropriate under the circumstances.
Where do you work?
Metal Technologies. I'll be there for 2 years in August.
All right, that is a good job. Did you get charged with domestic assault?
No. That's where we just had a discrepancy, and she was more aggressive than me.
All right. Got arrested on New Year's Eve. Got out on the 2nd, it looks like. 2 days jail credit, 2 days. got arrested on New Year's Day. 2 days credit, 2 days. $75 fine, $75 crime victims' rights fee, $50 state minimum fee, $150 attorney fee. That's $350. You posted a PR bond. That's due in 1 month. You're working at Metal Technologies. You're working at Metal Technologies, making $26 an hour, and you're living in your girlfriend's
I make
subsidized.
$23 an hour.
All right, $23
I
an
pay
hour.
child support and.
You're gonna get her kicked out of there. You need to get out,
We've
you need to,
been working on
they need
trying
to
to get
get
me
you
into.
need to get on the lease or get out of there. They find out you're in there making $23 an hour, they're gonna kick her out.
We're currently in the process of getting in applied.
All right, good.
Like I said, Driver, I'm taking the steps I need to try and get on the right path. I really am.
All right, well, this is 6 years old. You owe $350 by February 27th, 26.
To wrap up, this courtroom marathon showcased everything from deferred pleas to the long arm of old warrants. The judge balanced the law with real-life circumstances, dismissing major charges in some cases while ensuring fines and probation keep defendants accountable. Cases like these highlight the complexity of justice. Cooperation, timing, and legal strategy all play a role. If you found this case as shocking as we did, make sure to hit that like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more jaw-dropping courtroom breakdowns.
The good news is you don't have a warrant hanging over your head and you don't have to do this, but you need to pay it.
It's a lot better than what I was expecting.
All right, you're good to go.
Thank you. All right, thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. George,
Yes, sir.
that ceremony this afternoon, Mr. O'Barry, you may be interested also, is at 2:30.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, I plan to be here.
and I think that would be nice. I think it'd be nice if you could be there too, Josh. I'll tell you when we're off the record, but, it'll only take a couple minutes.
Thank you.
Go ahead and have a seat, sir. You'll be more comfortable. You've been waiting all morning.
Yeah, let me sit down.
Every day somebody ends up being last, and today I'm sorry, that's you.
No, it's okay.
But I'm also last here, so.
I got lucky though, it's a few times. You know.
All right, I got 4 state policemen waiting for me to call them. All right, so this is Craig Michael Rudisill. The file number is 252667FY. Mr. Rudisill is here with his lawyer, Mr. Paul. Let's get to your case. File number is 252667FY. You're charged also with possession of methamphetamine as a second offense, which makes it punishable by up to 15 years imprisonment, fine of up to $20,000. It's alleged to have occurred in Fabius Township on September 14th of 2025. Mr. Robert, is this also an offer to use?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, use of methamphetamine, Mr. Rudisill, is a misdemeanor. You've heard a couple of these, punishable by up to a year in jail, fine of up to $1,000 plus costs. Felony charge and habitual would be dismissed. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Other than this plea agreement here, did anybody threaten you to get you to plead to this
No, Your Honor.
or promise you anything?
No, sir.
Now, you've heard me go through the advice rights a couple of times. You've been here for 3 hours. Do you understand you have those same rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you're giving those up by entering this plea?
Yep.
All right, this is, you got stopped on your bicycle. In a very dangerous place, 131 and Hoffman Road. And they stopped you, they found you had a Tudor straw and it tested positive for meth, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
What are you doing now, Mr. Rudisill?
I was waiting to get this resolved to get my job back at Fiber Converters because when I was last in there for the last one, I got that job, and the Friday before I started, they issued this warrant for me. So my hiring supervisor called me and said that once I get that resolved, then I can get back in there. Yeah, just looking forward to getting this handled and just seeing where we're going with it. That way I can let him know.
What's the status of the other case?
That one was just for, we dismissed, I think he dismissed it. It was for, he just gave me fines and fees because I had just gotten that job.
Yes. Let's see the sequence of this. You were sort of homeless, weren't you?
No.
All right. Are you living in the apartments on Elm Street?
Yeah.
Who do you live with?
My mom.
All right. When I was a kid, those were real nice apartments. They've kind of all right. You also got a driving charge set for Friday. Driving suspended. And improper display of plates. That ain't the crime of the century. The earlier case was November of 25, and this was September of 25. So this actually preceded your other case. You're on a payment plan. This is just a small amount in a tutor. It's almost like a paraphernalia case. I don't think you ever went to jail. Didn't I arraign you on this when you were here?
I think we had spoke about it, but I don't know. I never got a ticket or anything, so I didn't know if it was maybe, I don't know. And then with the warrant coming out, I think the state picked it up or whatnot.
Did you spend a night in jail?
No, on this thing. No. For the other case, I did.
Yeah, you did some jail on the other case. Well, all right, I'm going to do fine and costs. You've got this case before you got the last case, you're on a payment plan. If I tested you right now, what would it show?
I'd be clean, Your Honor. I'm still trying to get my job back at Fiber Converters, so.
And they do urine testing before they hire you.
Yeah.
All right, $75 fine, $75 crime victims' rights fee, $50 state minimum fee, $350 as part of current payment plan. Let's see when you made your last payment.
I haven't been able to make one yet.
Well, may I just put you in jail for a while? February, December, you got sentenced. All right, January 10th, you only got sentenced on January 10th. You did post a bond, so I want you to start to make payments. You got to be here again on Friday on these driving charges, which is only going to raise the price. That's 252457FY. All right, you go out to the counter and see the ladies about that payment plan. All right, thank you for your help, Paul. I think I got time to do a couple search warrants between now and 1 o'clock. All right, we'll stop the live feed.
Thank you.